XJ9 is a robot created by Jenny Wakeman to act as a guardian to keep the world safe from harm. But her sentience also brings about a desire to be human and a real daughter to her creator. Going by Jenny Wakeman, she attempts to live a complicated life between being a heroic android protector and an average teenager. She and her mother are both lost in the universe thanks to Vlad Plasimus's device. She is put under its effects, turning her aggressive and hostile, but is eventually snapped out of it by the protagonists. And she joins them in their efforts to bring down Plasimus and save the universe from destruction. Jenny Wakeman, designation Robotic Global Response Unit XJ9, is the protagonist of My Life as a Teenage Robot, 2002-2006. She is a state-of-the-art robotic protector of Earth, armed with advanced weaponry and devices at her disposal, but wishes to live the life of a normal teenager. Throughout the series, she tries to balance her life with duties of a crime fighter while attending high school and proceeding with teenage endeavors. Jenny was designed as a teenager of about 16 years of age, in design and mentality. But it was 5 years since she had been created, prior to the events of I Was a Preschool Dropout, 2002. As her number indicates, she had 8 prototypes, whom she treats as her older sisters. While she was designed as a teenage robot, presumably with the adolescent mind of a 16-year-old or so, she apparently did undergo a period of infancy according to the episode Humiliation 101, 2004. As revealed in the same episode, she also spent some of her early years as a crude steam-powered robot before being upgraded to hydronium-electric hybrid power, as seen in the blueprints of her master plan. For an uncertain amount of time, she was prevented from leaving the house by her mother, except for the purpose of saving the Earth, where she would not be viewed by the general populace. Following the events of It Came From Next Door, 2002, she finally managed to interact with the outside world and make human friends, namely Brad Carbuncle and his younger brother Tuck, and later enrolling in Tremerton High School, where she soon met and befriended Sheldon Lee. XJ9's model plan. Jenny stands at 6.6 feet, 1.98 meter, tall and weighs roughly 600 lbs. She has blue pigtails with bolts connecting them to her head that can act as rocket boosters, blue bangs, white skin, blue clothes, a crop top, a mini skirt and boots, a belly bolt, a bolt that simulates a belly button, which doubles as a linchpin as mentioned in Around the World in 80 Pieces, 2004. Hands with 4 fingers each and center holes, a false nose. Jenny has no ears, instead possessing an auditory system decades ahead of its time, according to Ear No Evil, 2002. Her body processes are carried out by a fully functional metallic electronic brain, which her eyes are connected to, as seen in Mind Over Matter, 2004. Her body also contains several access ports for downloading, charging, and other purposes. Disguised human appearance, Jenny has been able to don a pseudo-human form in her ambition to be a normal teenage girl on 2 occasions. In Raggedy Android, 2002, Nora designed an exoskin for Jenny to freely go around in public during an amusement park event. But the first prototype skin was rushed in production within a day, which resulted in an exoskin looking more akin to an old ragdoll that ended up scaring everyone at the park. By the end of the episode, Jenny decided to take off the exoskin and reveal her true nature, and has since been able to blend into society freely as a robot. In The Return of Raggedy Android, 2002, after the owner of Mesmer's, Mr. Mesmer, refused to serve robots, Jenny goes to her mother to use the exosuit again. This time, Nora had made improvements to the suit to make Jenny look more human enough to fool anyone to believe that Jenny was a real girl. However, the skin ended up possessing a mind of its own and began persuading Jenny to act like a normal girl by dropping her robotic identity and adopting a persona of a girl more focused on diets and not getting her hands dirty. However, one day, as Mesmer's was being raided by the space bikers and the exoskin constraining her from confronting the bandits, Jenny poured a chocolate milkshake on herself, making the skin short-circuit and come off, giving Jenny her free will back and being the vigilant hero she has always been. While disguised as a human in her exoskin, Jenny had light skin with freckles and rosy cheeks. She had red hair tied into 2 pigtails with black bows. She wore a blue dress with short sleeves, short skirt, white socks, and black Mary Jane shoes. Personality. Thanks to having advanced artificial intelligence, Jenny's personality is that of an eager, young, tomboyish teenager. She desires a sense of freedom, but also wants acceptance from her peers. She generally possesses a kind personality and likes anything pertaining to teenage activities, but becomes agitated when her mother or her duties get in her way of her enjoyment. Unfortunately, being kind and sweet, she is easily trusting of others and, as a result, can be quite naive. The Crust cousins, Britt and Tiff, have often taken advantage of this for self-gain or to humiliate Jenny. Despite this, she can also be mischievous, hot-headed, careless, and stubborn at times, but always learns from her mistakes. In her duties as a crime fighter and global responder, she is vigilant and determined to get the job done, though she can be reckless and quick to jump the gun in very few instances. Relationships. Nora Wakeman. Since Dr. Nora Wakeman is the one who designed and built Jenny, she comes to view her as her mother. Like most mothers with teenage daughters, Dr. Wakeman and Jenny sometimes argue with each other. But Dr. Wakeman truly loves Jenny as if she was a biological daughter. At first, Dr. Wakeman confined Jenny in her bedroom in fear of Jenny possibly not being accepted by society. But when she saw that Jenny made friends after sneaking out of the house, Dr. Wakeman decided to give her more freedom. Dr. Wakeman would always alert Jenny about any crisis occurring in Tremerton whenever Jenny is out by contacting her through her built-in monitor. Brad Carbuncle. Brad is Jenny's first and best friend. She usually confides in him on her personal feelings and any other emotions she is going through. He often gives Jenny advice and helps her on missions, as well as normal teenager activities, while causing trouble of his own. He also usually goes on Jenny's side of things and defends her, especially with drama at high school. They often hang out as well. Tuck Carbuncle. Tuck is the first human other than Jenny's mother, whom Jenny has come into contact with. While they first began their relationship in the first season, Tuck often called Jenny a freaky robot. He has grown more and more close to Jenny, though, finding her abilities he once feared to be rather cool. Soon, Tuck and Jenny grow a close bond to the point that Jenny will fly to Tuck's aid whenever she hears him scream, even though Tuck rather abuses this factor in their friendship quite often, particularly in the episode The Boy Who Cried Robot, 2002. Tuck learns many morals through Jenny, and in the end, it is very much an older sibling to younger sibling relationship. Tuck is Brad's younger brother. Sheldon Lee. The relationship between Jenny and Sheldon began very awkwardly, as Sheldon became smitten with Jenny the moment he met her in Attack of the 5-1 Tier 2 featuring Geek, 2002. Although over the seasons, the two grew more accustomed to and close to each other, and Sheldon still often pampers Jenny every chance he gets. Jenny sympathizes with Sheldon and his obsession with her, although many times she grows frustrated and exasperated with him since he inadvertently hinders her on some occasions. He has also significantly helped her on many occasions as well, and is known to create for her a plethora of different gadgets ranging from blasters to oversized pencil sharpeners. The two grew close enough that Jenny would often rely on Sheldon to make minor repairs for her when she had some loose bolts, with Sheldon happily complying since he is a genius mechanical nerd. He stole and studied her blueprints in Designing Women, 2004. Sheldon has unwavering faith in Jenny due to his love for her, and has saved her life and her reputation as a superhero on quite a few occasions, especially in A Robot for All Seasons, 2004, and Agent 000 Sheldon, 2006. For this, Jenny is deeply grateful, thanking him with a heartfelt kiss on the cheek in these episodes, and also in Ball and Chain, 2006. According to series creator Rob Renzetti, he intended to eventually bring Jenny and Sheldon together as a couple. Misty Jenny first shared a friendly relationship with Misty when they first met in the episode Teen Team Time, 2004, and when Misty returned to Earth in Teenage Mutant Ninja Troubles, 2005. At first, Jenny was delighted to have a teenage girlfriend who could stay on the phone all day long and do normal teenage activities with her. However, in Teenage Mutant Ninja Troubles, 2005, Misty's pranks on the crust cousins became extremely cruel and sadistic, and Misty showed a dark, megalomaniacal side of herself in her attempts to terrorize them with their worst fears. Because of this, Misty was expelled from Tremerton High School, and her cruel behavior made Jenny to begin to worry that her teen alien friend was becoming villainous. Finally, in Missed Opportunities, 2005, Misty returned once more and started fighting crime in Tremerton, resulting in Jenny relying too much on her and slacking from her heroic duties. However, a fight erupted between the two friends when Misty wouldn't do anything unless the citizens paid her, and let the town get destroyed by a monster without feeling any remorse. Tuck was put in grave danger and was nearly killed, as Misty refused to save him. Jenny, appalled that Misty was being so selfish and heartless, couldn't stand to see people, especially her best friends, in danger, and she and Misty became bitter enemies at that point. Misty mercilessly beat Jenny up, mocking her cruelly all the while. But when Jenny reminded Misty that she thought they were friends, Misty left in anger, snapping, "The only reason I don't destroy you is that nobody is paying me to do it." The series ended without Jenny and Misty ever making amends. Britt and Tiff. At first, Britt and Tiff tried to use Jenny or made fun of her due to her desire to become popular and befriend them. After Jenny saved them from the fire caused by Tiff's bobby pin messing with Jenny's laser device, they refused to let the firefighters take her until Jenny pulled the bobby pin from her hand, which ended up with them being escorted from the school. Since then, Britt and Tiff have tried to get revenge or make Jenny miserable. Don Prima Jenny had a temporary crush on popular boy Don Prima from Tremerton High, and had a habit of blushing when speaking to him. However, after going on one date with him, it was revealed to her that he didn't really care about her as a love interest, but instead, he cared about his suede Italian loafers getting ruined when the two were about to kiss. From there on, Jenny gets over her crush on Don. Skyway Patrol. Jenny isn't fond with the Skyway Patrol, as the organization often tries to watch over her antics and attempt to shut her down should she be caught in the act of any tomfoolery or reckless behavior. Despite both parties have a duty to fighting crime, Jenny is a vigilante in contrast to Skyway Patrol's overbearing amounts of filing paperwork than actual patrolling, which has worked against them in Last Action Zero, 2004. The Cluster Jenny despises the Cluster as much as she hates their leader, Queen Vexus. She must constantly put a stop to their invasions, fighting against armies of Cluster drones to protect Earth. Queen Vexus is Jenny's archenemy, who appears in various episodes throughout the series. They have a bitter rivalry against one another. Vexus is the queen of Cluster Prime and has tried many times to force Jenny to become a part of the Cluster. Kilgore. In the episode Kilgore, 2004, Jenny was annoyed by Kilgore as he followed her everywhere and forced her to surrender to him constantly. But she couldn't do anything, as everybody else in Tremerton loved him so much, commenting that he was the cutest thing in the world. Kilgore became a most terrible annoyance to Jenny. However, eventually, after considering destroying the tiny robot when no one was watching, Jenny realized that Kilgore was as a defenseless toy. So she pretended to be Kilgore's prisoner so that Kilgore could impress the Cluster. However, just before being taken away by the Cluster, Kilgore helped Jenny by releasing her, and both began to fight the Cluster. Though Kilgore still considered Jenny his enemy, rival. Later in Enclosure of Doom, 2005, Jenny was forced to work with Kilgore to find a way out from Armageddroid's body. Both robots worked together to destroy him as well. Melody Locus. Jenny always felt uncomfortable with Melody due to the fact that she was the robot daughter of the evil Dr. Locus, always acting suspiciously like a perfect and pretty normal human girl. Seeing that Melody had a crush on her friend Brad and began dating him, Jenny became worried for Brad's safety and tried to convince him that Melody was evil like her father. Jenny eventually got into a battle with Melody, accusing her of being a villain, which enraged Melody, causing her to unleash her true, hideous robotic form. However, finally seeing and realizing how truly terrifying she really was, with everyone in Tremerton, including Brad, Fearing her wrathful temper and grotesque appearance, Melody then felt like she didn't belong with Brad, or anywhere, and flew away in tears, never to return. Jenny discovered that although Melody was created to be a monstrous villain by Dr. Locus, she never really wanted to be evil and felt remorse about accusing her. Vega. When Jenny came to Cluster Prime, Vega saw her as a friend, even when she figured out that Jenny was the infamous XJ9, whom her mother, Queen Vexus, considered the enemy of Cluster Prime. Jenny promised to visit her friend Vega on a reformed Cluster Prime once Vexus was cast out, and Vega took the throne as the new leader of the planet. Powers and abilities. Jenny is a robot designed to protect Earth from any threat, and accordingly, she has a vast amount of superhuman abilities and weapons to do so. Super strength. Immense power that allows her to lift massive weights, cause earthquakes, destroy planet-busting meteorites, and even move celestial bodies such as the sun. Superhuman strength. According to the opening, Jenny has the strength of 1,070 men, but the exact magnitude is unknown. This is because her strength, like most of her powers, has fluctuated over the series. She has thrown an entire alien spaceship into orbit around the sun, which puts her lifting strength beyond 300 gigatons of force. Superhuman running speed. She can run faster than even the finest human athletes. Superhuman reflexes. She has superhuman reaction speed. Superhuman agility. Jenny's agility is far beyond that of even an Olympic-level athlete, as is her balance and coordination. Superhuman durability. Her outer shell is made from an extremely durable titanium alloy, built to withstand heavy impacts and damage, though this ability can be inconsistent as she has been blown up by dynamite and torn up before. However, her internal mechanisms are generally less durable and are much easier to damage. Superhuman stamina. As a robot, she can exert herself for hours, sometimes days before she runs out of energy. Superhuman hearing. Jenny shows that she has super hearing from the first episode by burning a hole into a frisbee that was about to hit her in the back of her head. Telescopic vision. She can see further than any human being. Electromagnetic vision. She has the ability to see different kinds of EM spectrum, some of them real, some others fictional. Digital vision. Makes everything looks like an 8-bit video game. Ultraviolet vision. The ability to see ultraviolet light. Infrared vision. The ability to see heat radiation. X-ray vision. The ability to see through solid objects. Rainbow vision. Makes everything look multicolor, with a psychedelic 1960s style. Heat vision. Makes everything look hot, i.e., Dr. Wakeman wearing a bathing suit while everything else is melting. Sausage vision. Makes everything look like sausages. Flight. Jenny has rocket boosters to fly located in her feet, sprouted wings, and her hair. She can travel to the moon in about 5 seconds, meaning she can travel at 1/4 the speed of light. She also flew to the opposite side of a hurtling sun in 6 seconds, making her maximum potential for speed 83 times the speed of light. Various weaponry. Jenny's signature fighting style, consisting of unfolding a nearly unlimited number of weapons from inside her own mechanized body, although seeming random, are always chosen to fit the situation, even when looking absurd. Shiva swords. She sprouts 4 additional arms and then forms swords out of all 6 of her arms. Buzzsaw arms. Heat gun. Can reach temperatures of up to 1700 Fahrenheit. Fire and ice blasters. Instantly melted and then froze asphalt respectively. Fists of fury. Giant spiky fists. Drill hair and feet. Mighty mallets. Giant hand hammers. Electro claw thunder fist. Giant flail. Stun grenade gun. No explosive to be seen, but can reportedly fire at up to 125 rounds per second. Tesla cannon hair razor rang. Razor boomerang. Repairs. She can remotely rewire herself if she's damaged or destroyed, as well as simply replace limbs, such as her legs and her head. Multilingualism. Jenny has integrated CDs containing data for every single language in the world, allowing her to speak every language known to mankind. Corrosive reflex. She can defend herself by using the acid reflex lamination, made by triple polycarbonate lamination. This protects her against corrosive substances. Energy beam. She can fire energy blasts from her hands, feet, chest, eyes, and hair. She also has a wide array of weapons to do so, most notable being her laser limb, stretchy arms, and extendo fingers. She can stretch out her arms and fingers for miles. In Raggedy Android 2002, she used this ability to stop a runaway Ferris wheel, wrapping at least 7 times around it. Shapeshifting. She can shapeshift into several robotic forms, such as a giant spider. Victim of Fashion 2004 shows that she can adapt new forms simply by scanning the imagery. Trivia Jenny is the only character to appear in every episode. She possesses the phone numbers of her enemies, as revealed in Humiliation 101, 2004, including the Cluster and the Space Bikers. Jenny's voice actress, Janice Kawaii, has done her voice in both English and Japanese, as she speaks the latter language fluently and is half Japanese. Jenny's voice actor, Janice Kawaii, has also voiced Ami from Hi Hi Puffy Ami Yumi, Guy from Captain Planet and the Planeteers, and Kim and Cam from Class of 3000. A 1998 official rough design sketch of Jenny with antennas. Jenny is ambidextrous, equally adept in using both hands. Strangely, Jenny is seen blinking throughout the series, despite the fact a robot should not need to. As shown in Jenny's schematic, she runs partly on electricity. According to the XJ9 master plan, Jenny uses hydronium, H3O, as rocket fuel, seen inside her pigtail rocket thrusters. On the Teenage Robot blog by the creators, you can see early versions of Jenny from 1998 where she had antennas. Jenny as she appeared in the pilot. My Neighbor Was a Teenage Robot, 1998. Season 1, Episode 0. My Neighbor Was a Teenage Robot Friday, December 13th, 2002. After accidentally throwing the baseball into the window of a house next door, Brad Carbuncle sends his brother, Tuck, to retrieve the ball. But he meets a beautiful robot girl named XJ9. She calls herself Jenny, who gives him the baseball, scaring the pants off of him. Then he tells his brother there's a robot inside, but he doesn't believe him. Jenny belongs to a scientist named Dr. Nora Wakeman, who wants her to save the world. But she meets Brad, sneaks out, and then hangs out. But Tuck is still afraid of her. Jennifer Jenny, XJ9, Wakeman is the robot child of Nora Wakeman. She is also the main protagonist and the 16-year-old robot to which the title refers, a state-of-the-art gynoid automaton created by Dr. Noreen Wakeman 5 years prior to the series, though she was designed as age 16-year-old girl. Though XJ9 was designed to be Earth's protector, armed to the teeth with a wide range of weapons, devices, and transformations her day, 311 Tau 222, she desires to live the life of a normal teenager and often makes this desire quite apparent to her friends and creator. Jenny's personality is often friendly and optimistic, though this also comes with being rather naive as to her surroundings. Often, people like the Crust Cousins and Vexus take advantage of Jenny's friendliness to further their own goals, though she usually catches on and comes out victorious in the end. Jenny can also be somewhat of a sucker for trends, even when her mechanical designs prevent her from using them, as evidenced when she wanted to pierce her ears at one point, despite not having any ears. Ear no evil. Though capable of human emotions and possessing fully functional tear ducts, Jenny does not seem to possess the ability to dream or experience physical sensations. Though there were 2 episode segments where she received those abilities. In the case of the sense of touch, it caused more harm than good and was removed by the end of the episode. Meet Brad Carbuncle. Brad is Jenny's best friend and is also a big importance in the show. Although Jenny has thought of him as a big-time friend, the first time she meets Brad, she thought of him as a strange and beautiful discovery, and described him as, whoa, and cool. She has never shown any romantic feelings toward Brad, and never thought of him as nothing more than a friend. In one episode, she has thought of dating Sheldon, but instead thought that he was implying that she was too mechanical for him. Jennifer Wakeman, 23rd November, 2022. During Season 1, throughout all of Season 1, Jenny has been shown to try and blend in with the rest of the teenage humans from across Tremerton. Her first mission was to head to high school, which at first didn't age so well, after Nora embarrassed her by beeping the horn and calling out, "Okay, goodbye, sweetie. Have a good first day." Seconds after all, the students laugh at her. She snaps to herself, stating that her mother has already made her a laughingstock in the whole school, 2.5 seconds into the new school year. She met Sheldon after saving him from a group of merciless bullies that were beating him up all because he liked superheroes. From then on, Sheldon began to create an enormous crush on Jenny, which then began to drive her mad. Despite hurting Sheldon's feelings by yelling out loud to his kidnappers that he was nothing to her, Sheldon saved her anyway by using a crane to toss his metal hero around, knocking down the villains, then saving her by switching off the power to the electromagnet. After feeling terrible for the things she said, Jenny worked with her mom on fixing his busted metal superhero in an attempt to cheer him up. It certainly did. After seeing that Jenny was willing to apologize for what she had said earlier, Sheldon's crush began to arise yet again. Jenny Wakeman, 23-11-2222. During Season 2, Jenny begins to gain respect throughout most of Middleton, and she even grows closer to Brad, Tucker, and even Sheldon. It was during this very season when some of the cluster attempted to force Jenny into joining the cluster for enslaving the human race. After many rejections, Queen Vexus orders the cluster to destroy her for refusing to take her wager in joining sides. In the second season, Jenny was shown to have grown more powerful than she used to be during the first season, and was known to even wipe out an entire army of construction machines at a robot convention that was under the direct leadership of Queen Vexus. Her sister, the XJ line, also make their appearance when Jenny reactivates them, and she discovers that for the last 5 years, Nora Wakeman was hiding her own sisters from her. Though she was thinking that having sisters would be great, it didn't turn as well as she had planned it. 2 of them nearly got people killed. One wouldn't stop annoying an old man, and another couldn't even stay together. As soon as she was about to give in on her sisters, they began to work together in repairing the dam that eventually collapsed from Rouge construction workers who were attempting on destroying Tremerton Inn with the surging wave power. Jenny Wakeman, 23-11-2222. Season 3. During her final appearance in Season 3, no harmony with Melody, Jenny clashes with Melody Locus and worries for Brad's safety when Melody begins to date him. Melody attempted to finish her off when Jenny called her evil and morphed into her true form. After terrifying Brad and the entire town of Tremerton, Melody flies away in tears. 569, 3-2, Town. In Ball and Chain, Brad was getting married to Tammy, a member of the evil space biker gang. Jenny attempts to save Brad, but Brad hollers, "Stop." After hearing Brad state that he wanted to get married, Jenny responded to him by saying, "Well, good luck, Brad, and congratulations," and quickly kissing him on his cheek as a goodbye, when Tammy attempted to try and eat Brad. Jenny managed to drive away the space biker gang and rescue her friend. Jennifer Wakeman, aka XJ9, is the main protagonist of my life as a teenage robot. Also, she's likes flying, hanging out with Brad, Tuck, and Sheldon, singing, guitars, snowball fights, fighting villains, being a hero, fashion, having fun with her friends, playing games, making new friends, freedom, her friends and family, independence, music, helping people, protecting Earth, Brad, and Tuck, saving the day. And she was dislikes villains, disappointment, being unpopular, rainy weather, her friends and family in danger, being grounded, being embarrassed, being treated as a kid, her mother's stubbornness and overprotectiveness, lies, the cluster, the crust cousins, rust, her mother's nagging, weaknesses. Water, it say. Jenny can become incapacitated if she comes into contact with water. When she touches water, her entire body turns rusted and she becomes immobile, as seen in the intro of My Life as a Teenage Robot. Partners with Kenny, ex-boyfriend, Silvershell, crush one date, Don Prima, crush one date ended. Travis, crush one date ended. Sheldon Lee, crush seemingly one-sided. Family, Nora Wakeman, creator, star, mother. Armagadroid, older brother. XJ1, XJ2, XJ3, XJ4, XJ5, XJ6, XJ7, XJ8. Early prototypes, sisters. Wisteria Wakeman, aunt. And Glenn Wakeman, cousin. And that ends the history story of Jenny Wakeman, or XJ9 has adorable naughty, and heroes to all kids are love it too. From the humble beginnings to the end of the final season, I would like to not read every episode that has a synopsis. Just enough time to understand. This video is ended. Please subscribe on the Nongpat Plaza 748 channel as well. And thank you for watching until the end. See you in the next content. See you then. Goodbye.